Do you realize that the future depends on you? That's because, consciously or not, we all play a part in shaping the future. It is often said that there are only two certainties in life: death and taxes. Of course, this is not true. If you think about it only for a moment, you can likely think of others. And one of the most obvious is change. So why is it that this is so often overlooked, particularly in an age where change is more obvious, more frequent, and more far-reaching than ever before in human history? Perhaps the oversight is due to what you could call the paradox of change. You see, change is a certainty because, like death or taxes, it is inevitable. Yet the nature of change is such that it creates uncertainty. This is because change always has consequences, and consequences may not always be predictable. That makes it uncomfortable, something which is compounded by the fact that change is self-perpetuating. Everything you do now has an effect on the future, and so changes it. Naturally, this has implications. It was Antoine de Saint-Exupéry who said, "As for the future, your task is not to foresee it, but to enable it." This statement is possibly more profound than it at first seems, and definitely stronger, for it can be interpreted as a command. For while the term task may imply an option, as in an assignment you can take or leave, the fact remains that whatever you do will have an effect on the future, simply because your actions help shape the future, regardless of whether they entail passionate involvement or passive inertia. This is significant because it means that if you don't like something, you will not improve the situation by simply pulling your hair out or by idly watching and biting your nails. Certainly you have no grounds for complaint if you get a future you have done nothing to try to prevent. You have to do something. So, how does that affect me? As someone who feels that the world is going through difficult times and needs to change, to find a better way of doing things with a better operating model, it means that I could not just sit on my hands and complain about what a mess the world is in, or criticize others' efforts. That is why I wrote The Democracy Delusion. It is my attempt to analyze the situation and to put forward constructive suggestions as to how things can be remedied and a brighter future enabled. Will it make any difference? Heavens, I hope so. But it will only do so if you read the book, take up the ideas, and do whatever you can to refine, improve, and polish them, and then take action to make them a reality. That way, together, we will all enable a better future, and one that will be dramatically better than the one we will otherwise get by default.